I have been asked this a lot, which is the best tactic? Is it to take the exam in a classic classroom or take the exam on the remote location? I will go through this in this video. I will explain some plus and minuses, some advantages and disadvantages of both tactics and both approaches, so you can make your own decision. Comment down below if you have any questions, and comment down below if you have any feedback for the community of any extra information that you might find useful. If you have taken the exam in either situation, let me know your feedback and what your recommendations. I have taken the exam in both situations, so I'll share my feedback to you guys, but I want people that are not me to share their opinion in the comments below, so everybody can take their own decisions and make the decision to know which one may be the best for them. Because in the end, it's a personal decision. It's a decision of the individual. So basically, remote versus on-site. Okay. So which is the best strategy to you to decide which approach to take? Okay. Of course, that both situations have pluses and minuses. So I will help you out, guys, to decide which one is the best. So discover the pros and cons that could make or break your certification success. Well, yes, because the environment may contribute positively or negatively for the overall result of your exams. Okay, some people feel more the environment, some people feel less the environment. So it's kind of important to let you know what are the major differences between both situations, so you can make and decide which one is best. Because once again, some people are more sensitive to the environment that can contribute positively or negatively to their performance. Some people just don't care. So let's see some important points on both decisions, so you can make your decision when buying your exam. Because when you buy your exam online directly, you can choose for what you see. It's a K. So if you're buying the exam online, if you see a K, it usually means kiosk, and kiosk means at home online. Okay, without a K usually means on the actual training centers, classrooms with a proctor. Okay, so kiosk means at home, which will have its own setup procedures and means to get to that. On with the non-K means that you are in the classroom with a person. Okay, live with a person interacting with you and guiding you throughout the exam process. Okay, so first of all, should you take the exam, Red Hat exam? I would say yes. Most certifications are still valuable. I'm going to speak about Red Hat's ones at this point. I will make others for example, others like Cisco. But at this point, yes. Let me just sip my coffee. It's 6 a.m. here, so I'm still kind of waking up. But yeah, certifications are still very highly valid in 2025. If you're watching this in 2026, 2027, most likely things have not changed in this regard. So most likely, if you're watching this further down the line, and I hope you are, that means we are still here creating content. Certifications are still valuable or valued to you, so you guys can gain some progress in your careers, and that's why I'm here in this channel helping you guys out on that process. Okay, so everything requires preparation and study, so that's why I'm here also. So I'm giving you some guides on how to pass the exams, yes, but don't trust. You should not trust 100% on that. You need to prepare first, so that my guides and my setups and my labs actually make sense to you. Okay, so play out the strategy. Okay, so I would say if you are a highly experienced person, like you have 3 years experience in this Linux environment, Red Hat specifically, I mean, you can kind of dive in a little bit more confidence. If you have less than 1 year experience, you should trial much more carefully and work and build your way to feeling confident on all the steps of your certification. Of course, I'm not considering here the pressure of management, the pressure of your bosses that just want you as fast as possible to progress. Of course, there's also that added pressure. I understand that. But if you're pacing yourself out at your leisure, make sure that before, for example, you go to the EX200, you see all my video series on the RH124 or 1H134 and all the video series about the EX200 prep. If you feel comfortable with all those steps, then you are confident on the exam for sure. Okay, so make sure to pace yourself out before you make the plunge on taking the exam. Okay, but the question here is, which is better for you? Is it better to use a live location, get yourself into the classroom and do the exam there, or take the remote that will allow you to be more, maybe for some people more comfortable, for other people not so much. So that's why we are going to check the details here on both the pluses and minuses of both approaches. Then you can make your own balanced choice on which one is better for you. Okay, so if you choose the remote, which is the K, so if you use a kiosk option, then you are at home or on your office. It doesn't have to be exactly at your home. It can be even in the airport lounge. Even, of course, at home it's better because you are in your environment, of course. But in theory, at least, I never done it, but in theory, at least, even a airport lounge, you can sit there if all the kind of the check marks check. So first of all, you need to have a decent network connection. And when you are preparing your machine, your laptop in this case, if you're in the lounge, I guess, when you are preparing your machine for the remote taking, for the kiosk version, when you prepare your machine, and all the instructions are given to you through an email, and also they have some contact information for if you want to speak to someone. So you are okay with that. So you need to prepare a pen drive. Okay, so you need to prepare your USB bootable device. They're going to give you an image. It's kind of a tailored Fedora image that is going to put you immediately in kiosk mode. Kiosk mode is just a login screen where you type in your redhat.com credentials, the same credentials you use to schedule the exam, and you are immediately put in a waiting room. And from there on, you are guided throughout the process. So you just accept the license agreement and all that stuff, and then you kind of quote unquote speak to the proctor. I never spoken through voice; it's always through text, because one of the things you are prohibited to have is microphones. You're not allowed to use any microphones at all, and you cannot have headphones. You cannot use headphones at all. So the means to communicate with what we call a proctor. A proctor is an instructor that's going to guide you throughout the process and also make sure they don't cheat. So they're going to text you some stuff. You just need to read it and confirm that you are agreeing with that. If you don't agree, it will not progress. It's as simple as that. Okay. Then you're going to be able to test your camera and your microphone. You will have a microphone, but it's very seldomly used. But they don't really, they want the microphone not to talk to the proctor, but the microphone is used to catch the environment noise. So you need, I said beforehand that you're not allowed to have a microphone, but not in here in your mouth, but you need to catch the environment noise. So they don't hear you speaking to someone or someone telling you the answers. So yeah, sometimes they say you're not allowed to have a microphone, but for the most part you should have, or you need to have one so they can hear the environment of your room. So in a nutshell, yes, you need to have some sort of capture your environment room. It can be your webcam that is to be an external webcam. The laptop webcam will not work. You need to have an actual webcam that you can pan throughout the room. You need to move the camera and pan the camera around the room so you can see all your environment down below the table, behind the table, around you. And you cannot have any tech around you. It's just you, the table, and the computer. Only one screen. If you have a laptop and an external screen, the laptop lid needs to be closed. So only one screen. A microphone, it can be the webcam microphone. A mobile webcam, it needs to be an external one, not the built-in one in the laptop. No headphones are allowed. Wired keyboard, wired mouse. Nothing can be wireless. If this is okay for you, which for me it's very easy to achieve. And it doesn't have to be a laptop. It can be a desktop machine. It doesn't have to be a laptop at all. Okay, but if it has no headphones, some sort of capturing external noise, or a microphone and a mobile webcam, you are good to go. only one screen, and wired microphones and wired keyboards. If this is easy for you to set up, you're off to the races. You're just fine. Just be in a room that it's not filled is not filled with tech. So here around me, it will be impossible. I'm surrounded by tech, so that would be just unacceptable. I usually go to the kitchen or to the living room. The living room has also a huge TV. So depending on the remote proctor, sometimes they ask me to cover the TV with a sheet, and that's fine. Sometimes they are okay with that. It really depends. But avoid having lots of tech around you. If tech-wise everything that I just said is okay to you, then you are off to the races. You're perfectly fine. You are good. You are good to go. Now, advantages here: no commuting or accommodating costs. So yeah, you don't have to take your car or take public transportations, leave the home 3 hours early. Maybe you live far away from the tech center, or maybe you live far away from the training center and you need to leave 3 hours early to get there. That is easily avoidable with the remote session. And even some people need to sleep over. Some people need to travel beforehand to the training site. For example, I don't know, more than 10 years ago, I live near Lisbon, and I had to go take an airplane to Madrid to take the exam. So I at the time, and I'm still in some ways, I was the only guy that was entitled to deliver exams in Portugal, right? I was the only one, but I could only deliver exams that I already passed. So if I want to pass the exam, and I'm the only one who can deliver the exams, how do I pass? So the kiosk solution would be good, right? But at the time, there were no kiosks in Portugal, because there were literally kiosks. In the nowadays, the K's mean kiosk at home, but at the time, 10 years ago, something like that, kiosks were specific locations. So there was not a physical proctor there, not a person there. It was kind of a remote in a way, but they were only available in specific locations. At the time, they were not available here. So I had to fly to Madrid to there. So it was a 4-hour go to go in, do the exam, 4 hour to go out. And at the time, which is, I mean, it doesn't really matter the reasons, but my training partner that was sponsoring me to go there to pass the exam did not want to pay the overnight. So I had to fly at 5 a.m., arrive there around 10, and then fly back all in the same day. So yeah, it doesn't matter. But that's what I did. Now, kiosk means at home. Okay, so kiosk means you can do everything at home. You don't have to leave your home to do that, as I explained. Flexible scheduling and last minute prep, correct. You can schedule that the day before if you are lucky. Okay, they have some time slots, and I have managed to do that. I had to make the exam, and I just let me see if they have a time slot for tomorrow, and they did. But this is a little bit lucky, but you can schedule exam for the day after or 2 days after. That is very doable. In a physical location, you need to call the training site or call Red Hat directly and see if they have an available classroom, an available proctor for that period of time. So it can take 15 to a month periods of reservations, so you can take the exam. So if you're in a rush, a physical classroom is impossible. If you're in the rush, remote classroom is perfectly possible. Of course, a little bit of luck always helps. But yeah, if you want to take the exam the next day, it's sometimes possible if the time slots are available, and quite often they are. So remote, you are in a familiar location, no need to commute. You can schedule things much more flexible, and sometimes to the day after. Remote flexibility is kind of the name here, and you can actually make it work for you as the best way that you can. But some people don't like to be in remote. They like to be in a classroom with a physical proctor. Well, everybody's physical, right? But with the proctor present with you. So in that case, I would consider this as being important. So you don't have any distractions. So you don't run into the possibility of your kid knocking at the door asking for milk, or your wife forgets that you're doing an exam and is going to ask you for something. Oh, another thing. Here also can make the exam at 5 o'clock in the morning, or or 4 o'clock in the morning, or at weekends. At the weekend, you can do it at Saturdays and Sundays, which in the physical classroom you cannot. Okay, so in the physical classroom you don't have distractions. Well, it's very unlikely to have. You need to have your phone off, like you have to do in a remote situation. But if you're at home, sometimes the doorbell rings or something. There are more possibilities for distractions. In the classroom, that's almost impossible unless the world ends. You have technical support there, so the proctor is there to help you out with any technical difficulties you may have. Of course, he's not there to answer the questions for you or to reply to the exam questions for you. He's not going to do that. But if you feel that there is some technical thing that is making it impossible for you to progress, he will help you out and say, no, this is your own responsibility. Or, there's a problem here. I will fix it for you. So you have a person to talk directly. You don't have to type chat or wait for support. So you have someone directly there to help you out, which for some people, it's reassuring and makes you relax more, which is fine. Okay? So you are in a classroom, physical classroom. The machines are set up for you. You just sit down and progress the exam, and you are off to the races. And you have someone there to help you out physically, immediately at your disposal. In this case, you need to commute. You need to go there. Sometimes you need to sleep over. But when you reach a classroom, there's a person there guiding you and helping you out with all the steps. If you have any questions, you will ask him or her, and you get immediate assistance. And that, if that makes you more comfortable, if that's something that makes you feel more relaxed and increase the chances of success on the exam, why not? Just go for it. Schedule it in advance, because it can take weeks to get your date available, and you are good to go. All right, cool. So basically, you need to choose your personal preference. Okay, so see how you feel. I feel better at home with less time spent with all the preparations. Fine, and technically it's something I can set technically I can set some things up with no issue. You're good to go. On site, you have the facilities at the hand. You just sit down and do it. Again, your own prerogative, and maybe get your mindset correct for your environment. So when I say there, practice such as an environment, I mean get your mindset ready. Okay, if I'm doing remote, I need to set up my USB drive, and of course, when you set up the USB drive, you can test before the exam. So build your drive, boot your PC with the drive, do a test session. They have their test session, so you can test the speed of your internet connection to see if it's enough. Test your webcam, test your microphone. So you can boot your USB device and test everything out before you decide, okay, I'm good to go. I have the technical things to be successful. So you can test the pen and your environment before the actual exam. So you are sure that when you reach the date of the exam, remote exam, you are technically okay with everything that it's at ready for you. Okay? So basically, get your mindset around it. If you're going to do the exam in a physical location, prepare your commutes, prepare your sleepovers, and everything else, so you reach there and you are again prepared and ready to do that. Confirm your schedule. You will schedule that online, but I will advise you to call the training center physically and talk to someone that it's responsible for the kind of the certification environment room of that training center, and make sure, is it scheduled? Yes, it is. Then we're good. We are good to go. Okay. So again, the choice is on you. Remote is more flexible and more convenient. On site, you most probably, for some people, you can be more focused. You have no home distractions. Again, think about this. It's your own decision in the end. I like to take the remote because I just lose. For me, time is very valuable, so I just schedule at that day. I know I have done this lots of times, so I know the environment. I know what they want. I know what they like. I know what they don't like. So I just sit down. We are ready to go. Let's do this. Pass, fail. I don't care. I'm just doing the best that I can to be successful. And for me, it's remote. For you, can be on site. This is being too long, maybe. I don't know. You decide. Let me know. But in the end, my experiences, I share them every day in this channel. Like, subscribe, and comment, and it really helps to grow the channel even more. We have reached 1K recently. Thanks for that. I love you guys. Let's reach 100K all together, right? So, but most important, or more important in my experience, it's your experience. Put down in the comments below what you feel about this. Did you take the remote exam? How did you feel? Did you take the on-site exam? How did you feel? Would you do anything differently? Did you do the remote, and maybe you are considering next time the physical to see the differences? Let me know your experience. Let me know what you think. Let the community share out and share your experiences with the rest of the community so they also can make their decisions. I shared my experience, but every experience is different, and I really love to hear your own in the comments below. As usual, like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps to get the channel to grow even more, so get the word out, so it can help everybody else to pass their exams. Like and subscribe for Linux, Cisco, and other tech stuff. One last time, like, subscribe, comment, it really helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.